All right, so the last time we met, I had challenged you to try number 4 on your own. Now remember, number 4 is about Lynn, and she recorded the number of shells that she collected at the beach in one day. She had a table of data. We're just gonna keep going. We're gonna move on from that. She had a table of data that she used to create her pictograph. So hopefully, once you tried this problem on your own, your pictograph looks something like this. They did remind you in the question to write a title, a key, and draw the symbols to show the data. So title, key, all the symbols to show the data. Today we're going to learn how to take data from a table and put it into a bar graph. It's kind of the same process, it just looks a little bit different in the outcome. Well, we all know how technology feels about Ms. Patterson today. Let's see, I don't know why it's making me do this. Okay, so moving on. Our problem says that Nan keeps track of how many minutes she practices the guitar each day. So we're looking at the minutes that she practices, the time she practices guitar Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we have our table that's full of our data that she took. Now we have to take this table and we have to put it into a bar graph. So we're gonna go through the same process of choosing a scale that we do when we create our pictographs. So with our pictographs, I typically try to find a pattern, and normally you can find a skip counting pattern in the data. So her numbers are 5, 30, 15, 25, and 20. I look at that and I notice the pattern of skip counting by fives. So I can actually check myself by making a number line. So a strategy I like to use in this case is a number line, and I would draw my line, start at 0 always, and then I would even skip count like 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way up to 40 because I know she ends at 30. We could end at 32. And then I would drop a dot at 5 for Monday, 30 for Tuesday, 15 for Wednesday, 25 for Thursday, and then 20 for Friday. So I see that all the dots have a home on the number line. Now this is me skip counting by fives, but looking at the numbers in the data table, you can actually skip count by tens as well because we have 20 and 30 here. So we can draw a number line that has a scale of 10 instead. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, and place the dots on the number line again. Now remember, I'm getting my dots from the data in the table. So I would drop the 5, the 30, the 15, 25, and then 20. So I noticed a difference between the two lines. Do you guys notice a difference? I noticed that the dots on this number line had a home, and the dots in this number line were kind of in between the two tens. Did you guys notice that? So I may choose a scale of 5 to be as accurate as possible. So that's one strategy we can use when we're trying to take data like this and put it into a bar graph. So you can use a number line. You can also use basic multiplication to help you make the bar graph. So if we know we're skip counting by fives, you could look at each number and say what's 1 times 5? 5, 2 times 5, 10, and you can go all the way up and skip count 5, 10, 15, 20. So how can we use this data to help us make a bar graph? So how do we use it to help us draw the bars? Let's really think about that. Where am I going to get the numbers for my bars? I'm going to take my numbers from here. So the number of minutes are going to be my bars on my bar graph, but I'm doing a scale of 5. So I have to remember that when I'm making my bar graph. So they were nice, and they actually already started our scale at the bottom, and now they're just asking us to finish it. So we're going to be able to answer these questions after we finish labeling our bar graph. So something that I also noticed about this bar graph is that in our last lesson, it was vertical, and in this lesson, it's actually horizontal. So you can have bar graphs that look different ways. You can have them horizontally and you can have them vertically, which is pretty cool. So this is a horizontal bar graph. So I know when I'm taking data from a table, putting it in a graph, that one of the first things I need to do is put a title on my bar graph. So I know that the problem says that Sweet Nan was practicing her guitar every single day, Monday through Friday. So I may say something like, time Nan spends practicing guitar. And if you can think of a shorter way to say that, go for it. And then I even have to label the days. So I'm gonna take my handy dandy pen, days Nan practiced. But I have to turn that around so it goes where it's supposed to go. It's not working. Okay. So I have my graph somewhat labeled. It's still not done. I have to finish my scale. So our scale was skip counting by fives. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. What's next, ladies? 5, 10, 15, 20. 25. So after 25, 30. So now my bar graph is labeled, except for my bottom line. So I have to label that. And that's going to be number of minutes. So minutes she plays. Okay, so I have my graph done partially. I have not finished actually putting in the data. So I need Friday, Thursday, and Wednesday. So I'm actually going to have to go back, look at Friday, Thursday, and Wednesday. So Friday is 20. I'm going to write that down for myself. Thursday, Wednesday is 15. So using my scale of 5, I have to figure out how to draw a bar graph for each of these days. So on Wednesday, Nan practiced for 15 minutes. I'm going to draw my bar all the way out to 15. Thursday, she practiced for 25 minutes, all the way out to that 25 mark. Friday, she practiced 20 minutes. So all I'm doing right now is making my bar graph. So I have my title, I labeled the sides, I did my scale, my key, and I drew the remaining bars. Now it asks us a question that makes me really think. Do you think a scale of 2 would work as well as a scale of 5 for this graph? So they're saying instead of having 5, 10, 15, 20, what if we had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12? Would that work as well, or would that be harder to do? Why or why not? I want you guys to think about that. A scale of 2. If you were to make a number line that had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, all the way up until our last number, would it look like our number line for the 5s? So, challenge for the day for these pages, you are going to draw a bar graph for the below problem. So it says draw a bar graph using the data in the table. Be sure to write a title, choose a scale, label all parts, and then draw the bars. So you're drawing something similar to this with all the labels. You're just doing it down here in this space. And then I will check in with you tomorrow to see if you got the correct answer. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I can do mini lessons if you need it. If you're confused about something, please let me know. Chat with me, email me, Flipgrid with me, whatever you need.